have our permission to cry all day long. Yeah,
it's been witnessed here before.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Holy Brother.
I think the best one last night was the challahs. Oh my God.
So what happened, I have to tell you the story. So what happened was, last night was the beginning of Shabbos, right? So it's the Jewish holy day. So Mark wanted to make Kiddush and do a prayer last night. And he had asked me when I went to the grocery store if I would be sure to pick up 2 rolls so that we could do the prayer. And of course I forgot because it wasn't my agenda. So then and I said to him as we were leaving, I said, well, maybe they'll have some over there. You know, maybe they'll have some, right? I don't know what I was thinking, like hamburger buns, I don't know, you know, something. So then we come over here and it's time to make the Kiddush. And so not only does John bring out what looks, what do you call it? A Kiddush cup?
Chalice, yeah.
A chalice. It looks, you know, it's very traditional. Then Mayor says, oh, by the way, like Southern Utah Tory, I happen to have baked 2 loaves of challah, which is the traditional bread on Friday night that I have out in my car. Can I go get them? So she brings me these 2 enormous loaves of challah. And he said, I have a photo, actually. Hi, we see it. They're interesting. It's like one of those moments where you go, all right. All right. I mean, I'm not prone to like loving miracles so much. I've got a few though, but it's not bad. Look how big they are, and they were gorgeous, and she made it herself. I mean, hello. I live for that cool stuff. Yeah, until you guys
I bake it for Sunday meditation a fair amount.
Are you Jewish?
No.
Yes, you are. Somewhere in your DNA, you and Mark's ancestors roamed together.
Surely. Yeah.
All right.
A good sign. A good sign.
Yeah, so, what else? Are we finished with your check-in? No other check-in? All right, my check-in is, the challah was also, it was kind of a big high point for me, but I think more importantly, I've been coming into this landscape for over 25 years. And it's very much a home to me. I'm not connected to people here except the people that I used to be connected to, Kathy Bagley and Philly Pace and people like that 25 years ago. And even now I don't connect to them so much. So I'm really moved to actually be kind of connected into where the integral consciousness is here locally. You know, because what Ken always says, and I think it's a beautiful way that he says it, he says, look, I'm not making this up. He said, I'm describing something that's happening. And so when you were saying, I don't know what this is, but I feel at home, that's what he's always saying, is like it's a property of consciousness. It actually is a phenomenon. It's not he's only describing something. He's not creating something. He's describing something. So for me to come into this environment, because for me, this has always been a place of autonomy. You know, I came here to be quiet, and I came here to be still and to feel the ancestors and to feel history without human intervention. I mean, I came down here to get away from communion. Hello. I mean, you go to Jerusalem and it's the opposite, you know, holy mayhem. Like, you go to Jerusalem and it's like, wow, human beings and who we are to each other, right? And you come here and it's like all that which is not human. And it's such a relief for me. And at the same time, it's terrible. It can be terribly impersonal. There's nothing more frightening than how impersonal nature is in relationship to humans when she wants to be. So for me to actually have the experience of communion in this setting is like a coming of age of sorts, which is really beautiful. And secondly, just to your point, the way in which our mind, there's a really, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Terence McKenna. Do you know him? Mm-hmm. Terence McKenna is a wild man. He's one of the, he brought ayahuasca from the Peruvian jungle to the States and was one of the first people to work with the plant medicines in South America. He died about 3-4 years ago, I don't know when. But he used indigenous, or he used ethnogenic plants in ceremony for most of his adult life. That was really his path. And I think his favorite was psilocybin. But he says a beautiful thing. He talks about how he works with the medicine. And he says that you find a place and you settle in and you ingest the medicine, and then there's some other part of the ritual. And he says, and then inevitably there's a moment where I say to myself, there's another place that I should be. rather than here. He says, I want you to know that's a moment of true insanity. That when that comes up, that idea that I should be somewhere else. Because what I've realized, and this is really my communication to you this morning, is that my experience of being with you is so precious, I can't even stand it. To be in this room, in this place with you, and that I know, and teaching with Mark, and being with you, and I know this moment isn't going to come again. And that it is distinctively what it is, and that we can come together and share in the first, second, and third person faces of spirit is so unique and radical and rare that I feel like one of those plants in the Utah desert that blooms every 100 years. So I just want to thank you from the depths of my heart that you've been here so that I can have the experience that I'm having. I feel so blessed. Thank you so much. So, given that then, your desire to move, I think we really should maybe take a walk during lunch for the people who want to do that.
Great.
Would that be great?
Yeah.
So people who want to get out, we
It's
can make
gorgeous,
sure it's beautiful to do that. Okay. I don't know that we'll be able to join you because we have planning we have to do this afternoon, but I would love to make sure that we somehow connect to nature and to this landscape. So, all right. So, are you ready to take a journey? So we're going to now we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're going to move from integral and Kabbalah. Yeah, why don't we take just a quick break, it looks like.
Yeah.
Great, yeah, fair enough. Great.